Even though I am 94 years old, I continue to drive and I never get sick. Here is a list of the 6 activities that I do each and every day. How is it possible for someone to still be able to drive, maintain their mental acuity, and nearly never become unwell at the age of 94? It could seem like an unusual occurrence. But what if the key was not just in having good genes, but in making straightforward, consistent decisions on a daily basis that the majority of people fail to recognize? Decisions that are beneficial not only to the physical body but also to the mind, the routine, and the spirit should be made. In this video, we take a look at 6 activities that a remarkable 94-year-old man engages in on a daily basis. And we discuss how these minute routines have contributed to his overall health. They are not passing fads. Their cost is not prohibitive. Not at all extreme are they. It is a series of simple, consistent actions that you may take on your own beginning now. Therefore, if you are someone who still places a high value on their independence, who desires to maintain their mental acuity, and who fantasizes about being able to drive themselves to the store at the age of 90 or beyond, these behaviors are worth your attention because there are times when it is not about doing more. Doing the correct things on a consistent basis and doing them well is the key to success. Continue with me to the very end because these straightforward activities have the potential to alter the way you perceive the process of aging. And they may even alter the way you live in the future. The time has come to get started. A regular pattern of going to bed and getting up is the first priority. This 94-year-old makes it a point to wake up and go to bed at the exact same hour every day. Regardless of the circumstances, this is one of the habits that is often disregarded. But it is also one of the most powerful. This practice is not just about getting enough sleep, despite the fact that it may appear straightforward. Getting the body's internal clock to work at its peak, day in and day out, is the goal of this training. The majority of people, particularly as they get older, fail to recognize the significance of consistency. On the other hand, medical professionals are increasingly aware that maintaining a consistent sleep-wake cycle helps control everything, including digestion, mental clarity, and immune strength. Your body will learn when to release particular hormones, when to relax, and when to remain alert when you set a consistent pattern of going to bed and waking up at the same time every day. No guessing is required on its part. Because of this, over time, you will experience less weariness, a more stable mood, and an overall improvement in your rhythm. This particular individual goes to bed at 9:30 p.m., and he is up at precisely 600 a.m., even on the weekends. Before going to sleep, there will be no screens or other distractions, simply a calm and familiar wind down. In addition, a consistent wake up this morning. It is not sirens that he relies on. Simply said, his body gets it. Think about the number of people who, even when they are in their 60s or 70s, either feel sluggish during the day or toss and turn throughout the night. In many cases, it is not because they are aging inadequately. The reason for this is that their schedule is completely disorganized, because they stay up too late one night and then sleep the next. Their body is never able to determine when it is time to rest properly. Consider someone like Harold, who is 78 years old. After watching television until midnight and sleeping until 9 o'clock, he would feel drowsy for several hours following. His doctor urged that he adhere to a tight routine, which included going to bed and waking up at the same time every day. However, after 2 weeks, he was able to wake up feeling rejuvenated, move around with greater ease, and no longer required afternoon naps. It was only the clock that I altered. He continued, I did not alter anything else. This routine does not call for any physical exertion, equipment, or even movement. Nonetheless, it is the foundation upon which all else is built. Your digestive system, your memory, your mood, and even the pace at which your body recovers from minor aches and pains are all affected by this. Staying mobile and independent is important if you are someone who is attempting to maintain their mental acuity. One of the greatest places to begin is probably the clock that is located next to your bed. This is because once you have established a strong rhythm, the remainder of your day will start to fall into place. Second, make sure to move around gently every morning, immediately after you wake up. Without fail, this 94-year-old individual makes it a point to move his body for a few minutes first thing in the morning before engaging in any other activity. This is not a lengthy workout, nor is it a walk, rather, it is a brief sequence of slow, deliberate moves and stretches that are designed to get his blood moving. At the beginning of the day, joints become more flexible, and over the course of time, this unassuming little ritual has evolved into one of the most significant reasons he continues to drive. However, it is still able to climb stairs and move around with ease. The first thing he does is sit on the side of the bed and roll his shoulders back and forth between his shoulders. He moves his hands in a flexed position, circles his ankles, and elevates one leg, followed by the other. Following that, he slowly rises up, spreads his arms above his head, and reaches out in a gentle manner from side to side. This is not a difficult task. As a result, his heart rate does not increase. What it does, however, is quite powerful. In other words, it tells his muscles and joints that it is time for them to wake up. What this individual found out many years ago is now confirmed by medical professionals. Even a small amount of movement in the morning can facilitate the prevention of stiffness, the reduction of the danger of falling, and the alleviation of chronic aches that typically disappear during the night. Your circulation is stimulated as a result. It communicates to your brain the location of your body. Most importantly, it establishes the tone for a day that is full of movement and activity. For instance, Martha, who is 80 years old, every morning, she would stoop and lean over as she made her way around the kitchen. She went on to say that after learning about morning mobility routines, she recommended doing toe lifts, moderate squats near a chair, and gradual arm swings for a total of 5 minutes. Within a month, she said that her knees felt as though they had aged 10 years. And she noticed that she was standing taller without even noticing it. Exercising is not the topic at hand. This is about being prepared. In the same way that you might warm up an automobile on a chilly morning, you should consider warming up your body. The reason for this is that if you begin the day feeling cold and tight and pushing yourself against the stiffness, everything will feel more difficult. On the other hand, if you give your body a gentle and polite request to move, even if it's just a few mild motions, you will probably discover that the remainder of your day feels more effortless. This is something that this man does each and every morning. Before breakfast, before the news, and even before he bothers to brush his teeth. And this is one of the reasons why his limbs continue to cooperate, why his balance is still firm, and why he has never lost his faith in his ability to move. Therefore, if you are looking for a straightforward and uncomplicated method to safeguard your liberty, your security, and your comfort, you should begin with a mere 5 minutes, immediately after you wake up, with no apparatus or background noise, just you and your body, re-establishing a connection in a slow and steady manner, one stretch at a time. I would appreciate it if you could use the second comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. Simple dishes that are made from actual, everyday foods come in at number 3. Another reason why this 94-year-old man maintains such good health is because he consumes the same kind of cuisine that he has consumed for the most of his life. He eats straightforward, well-known, home-cooked meals that contain only the most fundamental components, just actual food that is prepared at home and consumed at the same times every day, without any magical additions. And as a consequence, his digestion continues to be robust, his weight continues to be stable, and his vitality never seems to plummet like it does for a substantial number of other people. He does not consume any snacks throughout the day. He does not follow the most recent fad among dieters. He consumes a light breakfast, which typically consists of eggs or oatmeal, and occasionally both. A modest bowl of soup or a sandwich including veggies is appropriate for lunch. Fish cooked on the grill, greens that have been prepared, and sometimes a baked sweet potato for dinner. In addition to drinking a lot of water, he consumes some fruit. The sweets are saved for rare occasions and are consumed after lunch. This particular mode of eating is beneficial to his complete body. His blood sugar remains stable, his digestion remains smooth, and his immune system remains robust as a result of this. As you become older, your body lessens its need for large, sophisticated meals. According to the medical community, having a heavy sauce, processed food, or a quantity that is too large can make you feel weighed down. However, meals that are constructed around entire ingredients, which are things that you are familiar with, actually cause the body to exert less effort in order to maintain its health. Consider Walter, who is 82 years old. In the past, he would consume everything he could get his hands on, whether it was fast frozen dinners, takeout, or skipping meals and then overeating later. After a few months of experiencing weariness and indigestion, he decided to move to a diet plan that was more straightforward and predictable. His stomach felt lighter, his sleep improved, and he reported that he no longer needed his mid-afternoon nap. All of these changes occurred in a span of less than 2 weeks. I was only overloaded, he claimed, and it turned out that I wasn't sleepy at all. Being consistent is important for this reason. When you maintain a regular pattern of eating, your body comes to know what to anticipate. It acquires the ability to digest food without any difficulty, to precisely indicate when it is hungry or full, and to avoid the spikes and crashes that cause individuals to get exhausted. In addition to this, it lessens choice fatigue. On a daily basis, you do not have to create something from scratch. There are a few simple meals that can become the basis for your long-term energy. These meals should be ones that you enjoy, that do not disturb your stomach, and that you are familiar with how to cook. Therefore, if you want to promote your health without adding stress to your life, take a clue from the plate holding this individual. Eat healthily and on a regular schedule. Pick foods that you can rely on and have amounts that your body can handle. Also, keep in mind that lifespan is not achieved by the use of unusual ingredients. Continual and sustained sustenance, one little meal at a time, is the foundation upon which it is built. Fourth, a daily purpose that can be achieved through movement and direction. Every day, regardless of the weather, this 94-year-old person either drives somewhere or walks with a purpose. Even if it's just to the grocery store, the post office, or down the street to say hello to a neighbor. All of these activities are intentional, and he does it for more reasons than merely to maintain his physical fitness. In order to give his day structure, his steps vitality, and his movement significance, he does it because he believes that having a reason to go somewhere gives his day meaning. You have to understand that there is a significant distinction between going around the house in circles and getting prepared to go somewhere. Even if it is only a little distance away, there is a change in posture that occurs when you have somewhere to be. The sharpness of your focus increases. The force of your steps increases. Your physical body, your mental state, and your spirit are all aligned around the same message. I continue to be a piece of the planet. In older persons, the consequences of purposeful mobility have been investigated by medical professionals for a long time. According to the findings of the research, individuals who have daily destinations, regardless of how minor they may be, walk with greater assurance, consistently keep sharper reflexes, and even report improved moods and memory. How come? Due to the fact that movement acquires significance. It's not just about working out. Being a participant, is it? Consider Helen, who is 85 years old. Even though she cannot drive anymore, she still gets up every morning, puts on her shoes, grabs her small cart, and goes 3 blocks to the market to purchase only 1 apple. This habit, however, provides her with structure. She moves as a result of it. It provides her with a factor that motivates her to proceed through the day with purpose. She adds that the apple is nothing more than an excuse. The stroll itself is the true objective. That is also something that this man does. Even now, he drives, but he never drives aimlessly. A list of little errands, such as a visit to the library, a trip to the bank, and a ride to check on a friend, is something that he meticulously maintains. While he is not behind the wheel, he wanders around his neighborhood with the same sense of purpose that he does while he is driving. All that was left was him, his thoughts, and a motivation to keep going. There were no headphones or other distractions. It is not necessary for this form of movement to be either quick or lengthy. It merely needs to be significant, mainly due to the fact that when your actions have significance, so do your days. If you want to remain moving, not only physically but also mentally, you need set a goal for yourself and work toward achieving it. Even to a lesser extent, remember that the power of turning up for your own life, even if it's just for a short trip at a time, is not to be underestimated. I would appreciate it if you could use the 4th comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. First and foremost, even in little doses, genuine connection is essential. This individual, who is 94 years old, never misses an opportunity to engage with other people. In every single day, he makes it a point to engage in conversation with someone, whether it be with a neighbor, a member of his family, or the clerk at the drugstore in his neighborhood. It does not have to be at all lengthy. Deepness is not a need for it. But of course, that must be true. This is a friendly greeting, a shared laugh, and a brief update. Because of these insignificant contacts, he continues to feel engaged, seen, and emotionally satisfied. People frequently believe that the only way to form meaningful relationships with others is through lengthy chats or large gatherings. Nevertheless, research indicates that the frequency of connection is more important than the size of the link itself. Your mood can be lifted, your stress hormones can be lowered, and even the risk of cognitive decline can be reduced with only a 5-minute conversation. On the other hand, loneliness performs the opposite of what it should. The immune system is weakened, sleep is disrupted, and inflammation around the body is increased as a result of this. This individual does not have a large social circle, but he does have points of contact on a consistent basis. Every evening, he makes a phone call to his daughter, even if it's simply to let her know that dad is still present. As he is bringing out the garbage, he engages in conversation with his neighbor. He addresses his pharmacist by name when he greets him, a kind of emotional routine that supports him as much as any vitamin or stroll ever could. These simple things create a thread that binds one day to the next, a kind of pattern that ties 2 days together. Gloria, who is 86 years old, is a wonderful illustration of this. She had a habit of living by herself in a peaceful apartment, and she could feel the weight of loneliness beginning to seep in. Following her seeing of a similar incident on television, she decided to make it a daily habit to talk to one person. She started greeting people with a wave as she was walking, calling old friends once a week, and engaging in conversation with the cashier when she was shopping for groceries. She reported that she had begun to laugh more, worry less, and even had less headaches as time went on. As she said, "It turns out that we were designed to be heard." Daily connection accomplishes this type of thing. It brings you back to earth. It serves as a reminder that matters to you. And even at the most insignificant of moments, it provides something that a great number of pharmaceuticals are unable to: delight, stimulation, and comfort. If you are someone who lives alone or someone who has a large family, You should know that you do not require large family gatherings in order to maintain your health. All you need are a few consistent strands of connection that are small. It only takes one individual to remind you that you are still a part of something much larger scale. Because that could be one of the most beneficial things you can do for your health at any age. But especially when you are in your 70s, 80s, or 90s, it is important to remember that. The sixth point is mental stimulation, which helps one to remain focused and alert. This individual, who is 94 years old, makes it a habit to spend a few minutes before going to bed each and every night, challenging his mind by reading, performing a puzzle, or simply thinking through something thought-provoking. He is not doing it for the purpose of amusement, because he is deeply convinced that a curious mind is what keeps the rest of him alive. He engages in this course of action, and medical professionals would agree that engaging in mental activity, particularly in an environment that is quiet and concentrated, is one of the most protective habits for the brain as it ages. It is not necessary for it to be official. When he has some free time, he will read the newspaper, revisit a portion of a book that he enjoys, or attempt a new word puzzle. There are instances when he jots down brief notes to himself about the activities he participated in during the day or the things he wishes to keep in mind. Not only do these insignificant actions assist him in maintaining his mental engagement, but they also serve to remind him that each day still possesses importance and order. Late-night mental stimulation, when performed in a gentle manner and not in an obsessive manner, has been reported to assist in the organization of the brain, strengthen memory, and reduce the deterioration of cognitive abilities. It establishes a connection between one day and the next, providing your brain with a means to record and digest the events that have transpired before going to sleep. A wonderful illustration of this may be found in George, who, at the age of 89, started playing a straightforward memory game every night after supper. The only cards that were turned over and matched in pairs were 10. I can feel my brain turning back on, despite the fact that he stated it was ridiculous. After a month, he came to the realization that he was better able to remember appointments, that he could recall names more quickly, and that he was even dreaming more vividly. His wife said that it was as if he had been brought back to life simply by playing a game. This is not about being flawless in any way. This is about being in the now. By providing your mind with something to chew on before going to sleep, not worry, not news, but something intentional, you are able to nourish the part of yourself that, even at the age of 90, continues to have a desire to develop. According to the man in this tale, it also helps him get a better night's sleep. If I think before bed, he says, I rest more calmly. I feel like the day had meaning. This is something that cannot be obtained by the use of a drug. Therefore, if you want to preserve your memory, improve your thinking, and maintain a steady mental state as you become older, incorporate a brief period of concentration into your evening routine. It is not necessary for it to be outstanding. Without a doubt, it must be yours. I would appreciate it if you could use the 6th comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. Lastly, some thoughts. Let's take a moment to reflect on the 6 activities that this 94-year-old individual engages in on a daily basis. They are not fancy in any way. Nothing of the like requires either money or youth, when taken as a whole. However, they come together to build a life that is consistent, unclouded, and robust. Consistent sleep patterns, mild morning exercise, straightforward meals prepared at home, daily purpose achieved through activities such as walking or driving, brief moments of connection, and a few minutes of mental focus before going to bed are all important components. The habits themselves are not the only thing that stands out. What is more notable is the dedication to them. The calm discipline and the conviction that each day is still significant. On top of that, that is what genuinely maintains his health. Care, not luck or magic, is what matters. A consistent and deliberate attention to his mental state, his physical body, and his position in the world. And perhaps it is the most important thing to take away from this. That aging well is not about trying to come up with the most recent technique. When it comes to your health, your clarity, and your independence, it is important to remember to respect the fundamentals, to adhere to what works, and to have faith that even seemingly trivial activities, even those that are little and consistent, can have a huge impact on your life. If you are in your 60s, 70s, or 80s and are in a state of uncertainty about what to do next, you should begin there. You only need one routine, one day, and one calm resolve to become present for your body and mind once more. We appreciate you being here with us today. It would be wonderful if you could get in touch with us. Please leave a comment below and tell us about one item you discovered today and how you intend to put it to use in your life right now. We place a high value on your opinions, so please do not be reluctant to share them with us. Our inspiration and encouragement are greatly increased as a result of reading your remarks. I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it to be informative and enjoyable. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we hope to see you in the future video.